Bucky Brooks from NFL Network was on FS1's Speak, talking about where the Browns stand in the AFC.
There's 7 teams that go to the playoffs, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's only 6 spots left because the Browns are in. The Browns are going because the Browns have the best team in the division. They have the best team in the division.
Wait.
The best team in the division is in Cleveland. I think they used to call it Believeland. Cleveland has the best team in the division.
Roster.
You look up front. Let's talk about their defense. You look up front. Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett.
Up front, I'm listening.
Best pass rushing duo in the National Football League.
Listening.
They got one of the best corners in football in Denzel Ward.
I'm still listening.
They got young dudes in the secondary.
That's a safety, though.
Grant Delpit, nice.
He's nice.
They're good. You go offensively. One of the best offensive lines in football. Best running back in football in Nick Chubb.
Sure.
You got Amari Cooper, who's a legitimate number 1.
But
we just talked about Elijah Moore, who's the hybrid player who may give them their version of Deebo Samuel. So now we're talking about a guy who's a top 5 quarterback when Houston was boo-boo. He now has shaken off all the rust. He comes back. We see he's very comfortable. We've seen it in the preseason. To me, they're going, and they're going far. Because they have the best, the best team in the division.
So,
G. Bush, the closer we get, the more you see. They're jumping on the bandwagon. That's all right. We have spots.
Come on over. Come on over, fellas. It's okay. We told you. We've been on here all summer. I get it. The summer storylines is kind of light. You know, there's nothing to talk about. You don't want to talk about the Little League World Series. Guess what? Now when it's a week away from the season, you got the last preseason game out the ways. Rosters are all settled down. Couple more positions here or there. For the most part, everybody is healthy going into week 1. And then you start to sit here and say, look at this roster. Whoa. You got Nick Chubb right here. Well, okay. The offensive line is definitely solid. Hey, we even like the backups. They brought that DeJuan Jones kid. He was, 148 snaps or something. No hurry. No sacks, 1 hurt. DTR. Kid's coming up here. They moved him right to second string. But they do got Amari Cooper, by the way, who had over 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns last year. We know what Elijah Moore, what kind of Swiss Army knife he can be. And then you start to look around all over this place, and then now all of a sudden, the reality sets in on you. You're like, okay, well, is the Bengals defense better than the Browns on paper? No. Is the Steelers defense? We like T.J. Watt and we like Hayward, but are they really? We like Minkah Fitzpatrick, but I mean, pound for pound, roster spot for. I like the Browns defense. Hey, we know what Lamar Jackson can do with his legs, but are we confident that he's going to be the thrower that Deshaun Watson has already shown he is? I don't know about that. So now we're starting to come back into the fold where. When you start looking at these teams in the AFC North, and by the way, it's the best division in football, bar none. It's going to be the most competitive. But when you start looking roster for roster, position for position, impact for impact, the Cleveland Browns have it all. They've even had a coach that won Coach of the Year. So I mean, we haven't seen it for Deshaun Watson, but if he's 85-90% of what he was. Even in Houston, which I don't know why people wouldn't think he was. He didn't get injured. He didn't go to jail and lose all of his, he did not train for 2 years. The guy has been on ice pretty much for, 2 years. So the only thing you got to work out is the speed of the game and the rust. And by the way, we've seen it in games now this year in the preseason. The Cleveland Browns is dangerous as any team in the league. They're as dangerous up and down as any team in the league. And if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes and being the Michael Jordan of the game right now and Travis Kelce, I'm taking the Browns roster over the Chiefs roster too. The only thing they got on the Browns, which is big, is quarterback and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. Other than that, Chris Jones is dominant, but we got a dominant guy too. The Browns is just as good as any team in this division. And that's hard for people to swallow because we haven't been so. But when you look at it and stop playing around, it's right in front of you.